So when I last left it off, I was talking about setting up the DRO, the Shumatech DRO-550. You can see I've got it mounted now, and I wanted to take you around and just show you how I set it up. I've got glass scale in the back, and under here you can see that I've got the Chinese scale. Actually bought it from Shar's, I believe, a 12-inch Chinese digital scale. And I'm going to be installing a quill scale as well. And I could show you what I'm doing with that as well. I'm just going to use a 4-inch scale. Pardon the mess here. Use a 4-inch scale alongside the quill, and then I'm just going to cut it out of this 3/16 inch plate, a little mount for it. And I've got this. Let's fire it up. I've got this articulating mount. I guess that's what you'd call it. It's actually it's Rubbermaid. It's might sound cheesy, but actually it's super tough. It was made for a monitor stand. This is actually the tray that went on it. It had this little pull-out keyboard slide thing. But I removed all that and then just used some angle iron on the back to give it some articulation. Yeah, so it swivels. I've got a piece of plastic underneath of it. Got it mounted on this accessory tray, and until I'm going to fit it with some springs so I can actually have it stay wherever I want it. But for now, I've just got a small magnet there that holds it in place. But I'm really happy with the way that worked out, and it's nice because it allows you to just bring it. You know, you've got your quill feed lever, and then without moving, you've got access to your DRO. So yeah, I'm really pleased with the unit. I've got that's the X, that's the Y, and then this will be the Z, the quill feed. But for now, I've actually got a I think I showed you this in a previous video, but I've got under the pulley, I've got a magnet, and this is a Hall effect sensor. I drilled the end of a bolt, and it's actually kind of a stud, I guess, and it's nutted solid against the pulley guard. And as that pulley turns, the magnet swings by. It's like an inch away, but it still picks it up. So I'll kick it on. You can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, 253 RPM, which means that my motor is wired. It's a 2-speed motor. It's wired in the slow speed. There's a static phase converter on it, and I would love to have the dual speeds, but that's not happening with a static phase converter. I've got a extra motor, a 5 horsepower 3-phase that I might end up hooking up eventually, make a rotary phase converter, but so far I haven't done that. So that's that. Yeah, that plate that I was telling you about, I actually replaced the quill, and you can see that this little locating key thing here, there's a little bit of play in it, so as you're feeding the quill up and down, it kind of kicks over. You can see that now. So I'm going to actually integrate into that plate. It's going to fit, from here down to here and over about 1.5 or 2 inches up to here, and then the scale's going to sit right here, and then I'm going to actually cut a slot in it that will precisely locate this little key to keep the quill from rotating. It's not really a big issue right now. Thanks to Chester, I got an oil cup that I was missing. I'm very pleased with that. And yeah, this is the power supply. I've actually got it built into the mill. I believe this was 110 for this is just a 12-volt power supply, but this was 115, 120 volts off of this transformer down here, and I believe that was for an oil pump. You know, it has the holes in the table and the sump at the bottom for an oil pump that will be located in the column. I don't have the oil pump motor anymore, but maybe someday I'll hook that up. So I actually, you know, have the DRO-550 wired to that transformer, and so that when I kick the machine on, the DRO comes on. When I turn it off, the DRO turns off. So that's nice, not having to deal with two switches. But you can see the Y reads as I turn the lever, and X does too. The X is super solid, super stable. Really pleased with that. See, as I turn, I mean, it doesn't miss a beat. The Chinese caliper, you know, jumps around a little bit, but this thing is solid as a rock. This glass scale, I'm very pleased with it. Yeah, that's that. I can't stand this green paint, but I also don't want to tear the whole thing apart. Here's another view of that articulating mount that I was telling you about. I've just got one bolt through, and you can see the plastic sandwich there. Yep. So that's that. I highly recommend the DRO-550. When they come back in stock, I suggest you buy one.